Hi, my name is Spencer, and today I'll be reacting to Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 3. Before I get into it, I would like to, address and maybe talk a little bit about the situation that's happening with Paramount and Star Trek Prodigy. I mean, it's happened with a couple other shows too. But the one that's important is Star Trek Prodigy. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's not much I can say that hasn't already been said on the internet. Obviously, it sucks. The situation sucks. And I've done my part, I guess, in signing a petition. I don't really personally believe in petitions. At least I don't believe that they work. I don't think I've ever seen a petition make any difference in anything. But I did sign the petition anyways. And last I checked, it was over 20,000 signatures, or at least, I mean, it's got support, but it's just, I don't know, I'm not gonna hold my breath. From what I understand, Paramount, and this could be misinformation, so take it with a grain of salt. From what I understand, Paramount is doing this for tax write-offs. It's for money, like most things are in the world. So, if anything, the petition is going to drive up the price for whoever they end up selling it to. And my only hope is that we will get a season 2. That the season 2 that has already been made will be released. That we won't be left hanging. And if that eventually does get released, I do plan on reacting to it on the channel. Let's hope. Let's just hope. And I encourage you guys, if you haven't already, to sign the petition. Even if you haven't watched the show, like, why not? What I usually do is I sign a petition and then I unsubscribe from all emails after that, because I hate getting change.org emails. They are literally the worst with that. They just keep sending them and sending them. So I just immediately unsubscribe so I don't have to deal with that crap. So if you don't like, if the reason you're not signing is because of those emails, I encourage you to do the same. Sign it, go to your email, click unsubscribe from all. Easy peasy. But yeah, I'm totally for Star Trek Prodigy to get saved. I hope that something happens, but like I said, I have no expectations from Paramount to make any changes to what they're doing. I think that's really all I have to say about the matter. Hopefully we'll get some update on season 2 from some other streaming service, but we shall see, I guess. It's just a damn shame. That's the gist of it. But anyways, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Last time on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, we were given a courtroom episode with Una being on trial for being an augment and lying about it to join Starfleet. Overall, that was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I don't know, we knew what was going to happen. We knew it was going to work out based on other promotional stuff from the season. But I really liked how it worked out and how Una's friend / lawyer was able to get her out of this predicament. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, I know some about this episode. I know that this is the La'an time travel episode that presumably has Kirk in it as well, joining her in the past. I don't know what the circumstances are going to be. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I'm a little wary of time travel episodes in general because they tend to break a lot of the rules that they set for themselves. And then it's like, why'd you set these rules if you're just going to break them? So hopefully there will be not much of that in this episode. We will see, though. I don't know. I trust these writers so far with what they've given us. At least that they've built enough trust for me that I can go into this and feel that I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know how they're going to get time traveled, La'an and Kirk. I don't know. I'm curious how that's going to happen and what are the implications going to be. I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier today and I was like, I wonder if La'an will have any mental internal conflict with herself, whether to interfere with some augment development in the past to prevent some of those historical events from happening. I doubt she would. I mean, obviously she doesn't interfere with anything based on history as we know it for Starfleet, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see that internal conflict, and I don't know, maybe she's learned to accept her past and I mean, she would cease to exist if she changed anything, I think, in regards to that. So I think it would be smarter for the writers to avoid that sort of plot line. But like I said, I think it would still be interesting to have that moral dilemma. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what things are going to happen in this episode besides the big time travel thing. I'm just curious to see what they're going to do here. But before I get into this episode, don't forget to like this video if you like it. And if you have anything to say about this episode or the previous episodes for the season, please put it in the comments. I enjoy interacting with you guys if I can. And the interaction does help the YouTube algorithm get this video out to more people. So I appreciate you guys interacting. Also, if you're not currently subscribed, but you like this kind of content, I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. We recently hit 500 subscribers, which doesn't seem like a lot compared to other channels. But it's a big deal for me, so I appreciate you guys, and thank you for the support. And if you subscribe, you can be guaranteed to at least get a little bit more Star Trek content as it comes out. Hopefully no other shows get canceled. I don't know, we'll see where this goes going forward. Hopefully I can provide entertainment for you guys that is entertaining to you guys. But yeah, I think I've rambled on for long enough before getting into this, so I will go ahead and do that.
Previously on Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
All my life, I've hated augments.
Okay, so augments are going to come into play at some point.
May I inquire as to who filed this noise complaint against me?
It was anonymous.
I shall make every effort to practice less vigorously. Go.
You would think that they would have soundproof cabins in the future, or at least the ability to make it soundproof after the fact.
And that's a fake, so you can tell the Louvre to stop calling.
What the heck?
As your physician, I'd advise...
You're not here as my physician.
Well, as your sparring partner, I'd advise you talk to your physician. Maybe
That was pretty funny.
trying to bear all of this by yourself. It's got to be lonely. It doesn't need to be.
This is where Kirk comes in. What? What was that? Huh? What?
Help!
Is he from the past?
In the past, you have to stop it.
Well, he knows he's come from the past.
You need to get to the bridge.
Call for sickbay. Well, that was kind of dumb that he... I don't know. I feel like she could have done more, is what I'm trying to say here.
I need to...
Huh.
Ma'am, not to be impolite, but who are you, and what the hell are you doing on my ship?
What? Interesting. Different timeline, I guess. Are we going to get any Pike? It'll probably wait until, like, the end when they restore the timeline, but still.
Captain, incoming hail from the Vulcan ship.
On viewer.
What? Huh. Interesting.
We have our own problems with Romulus, and we can't afford to fight a war on two fronts.
You would think that Captain Kirk would be like, security, get this person off my bridge.
A far simpler explanation is you've lost your mind. Except there's no record of you in our database.
Because this isn't my enterprise.
It's certain.
Something happened to the augments in the past. That's why she doesn't exist in this timeline.
It must be the reason why I'm still here, why I remember my own timeline.
Can we use it to send you back?
No,
That'd be nice.
The man told me to get to the bridge. I think you're supposed to help me. Starfleet has...
Maybe it's the bridge of his time ship?
My science officer and chief engineer will study it and report it back to UEF command.
No.
Well, so one way to do it.
Wait!
Not that simple.
Did you break it?
Did I break it? No, it's just not programmed correctly or out of energy, maybe?
I take back what I said a few videos ago. I do like him as Kirk so far, even if it's an alternate timeline Kirk.
There is going to be an attack. It's going to change the timeline. We have to stop it.
What if he doesn't want to mess with his own timeline? Is it like today's? Like this year?
I've never been to Earth at all. I was born in space on the USS Iowa.
Okay. That makes sense for... Some people were like, isn't he born on Earth? How does he not know these things? But it's a different timeline, so that makes sense.
Find an outfit. There's changing rooms over there.
How are you going to pay for it? Or how do you plan on paying for it? If you plan on paying for it. A little less casual. She's like, ooh, that body. She says, focus. Focus. It's so funny.
I have a better idea. Hold that.
What's the plan? La'an. I had to make it rhyme. Is she gonna pickpocket someone? Or no? What? Oh, distract them with someone setting off the alarm. Okay.
What kind of marketable 21st century skills do you have?
Fighting?
You know what? Give me a few minutes.
Oh, chess. That's one way to do it, I guess. Wonder if there's like any new future strategies for this game. Or if he's just that good.
I am your superior officer, and I am ordering you to have a hot dog.
You don't work for Starfleet, so you can't order me to do anything. We need to be looking...
I could eat 2 hot dogs. One's usually not enough.
Nothing seems threatening. It's all just sort of, I don't know, pleasant.
I know. It's terrible.
That's funny.
Don't skip good hot dogs when you can get them.
Fine.
I mean, you gotta be hungry. This is how she develops feelings for him. And then that scene in the trailer when like he appears, or when he gets beamed onto the Enterprise with Una there, that'll be later. And then she'll be like resurfacing the feelings. What if she got pregnant with this Kirk's baby? That'd be crazy. I don't think they would do that. He's got such a pointy nose.
If we fix your timeline, we destroy mine. My life, my friends, my whole existence.
True.
My best option is to do absolutely nothing. Enjoy the hot dogs and the hot showers.
He's got a good point. I don't blame him.
I mean, we've never met, but I've heard stories about you from your brother.
Sam's alive.
Okay, that's a good motivation for him. And that seems like what you're here to stop.
That means this can't be the attack that he was talking about. This isn't the moment things changed.
I mean, otherwise you would have already failed, so.
The wreckage is...
Discolored.
Is something wrong? No, thank you.
This photographer looks kind of familiar, but it's probably no one. No one that I recognize, at least. Vulcan neck pinch.
Spent 6 months in a Denobulan prison. Cellmate was a Vulcan. I can also make pumik soup in the toilet.
Denobulan prison? That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that it's a prison, but I love the Denobulan callback, you know, or whatever you want to call it.
Tiberius is not insane.
The least discreet.
That's funny.
Most people call him George.
Absolutely no one calls him George.
Oh boy, she's definitely gonna take that knowledge to the future.
You're one to talk. La'an, Noonian, Sung.
Sing.
Whatever.
She's like, wait, that name doesn't have any significance in your future.
You haven't heard it.
Yeah. Well, now you're not being discreet at all.
Let me guess. You haven't made your quota for the week yet?
Move along, ma'am.
Ah, this lady again.
Fighting each other instead of the real threat.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Something called the photonic bomb. That's what blew up the bridge.
Well, I mean, it's a conspiracy. She'll believe anything you say.
Well, she knew enough to follow the van from the bridge explosion.
She's unhinged.
Well, for this time, yes, a little bit.
Okay, I've spent years collecting these pictures.
I feel like I've seen her before. I don't know where from. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up, though.
I swear, half of these people on forums are still using dial-up.
Oh, that's...
There's a hookah place across from the bridge explosion site. I bought the surveillance footage off.
I just put together that he said get to the bridge, and it was the bridge in the past is what... Okay, yeah.
And we need to find the cold fusion reactor first. Stop the time traveler from destroying it.
Okay, I guess he's on board with getting rid of his own timeline.
I might actually know somebody in Vermont.
Who? Who could this be? Oh! Pelia, of course. I was like, who's...
I know your secret.
This should be fun. I'm glad we're getting more Pelia. I was worried they're gonna do something weird with like, just like a name drop or something from that we've heard from other shows, like Cochrane or someone else. But I like this. I like this better, and it helps us to get to know Pelia a little more.
An engineer.
But then, why the hell did you come to me?
Is she not an engineer yet?
Maybe I missed my calling.
Oh
It
boy.
has to make an honest living for it.
They're gonna inspire her to become an engineer.
If we can fix this, maybe the device could take us both back.
That'd be cool, but not likely.
I'm just messing with you.
You ass.
I can get behind this. Although our odds are that he's not going to make it to her timeline.
Any insane. That can't be a coincidence.
Huh? Is it just gonna work because she's augmented? Or has augmented DNA? She's not augmented herself, she's just descended from it.
Thank you for helping me get into this place. I'm gonna need both of you to come with me inside.
What? Is she a Romulan?
You have to know that if you do, the building's alarms will go off. Security will lock the place down. Your plan will fail.
True. Or maybe not true. Well, I guess this Kirk is gonna die, and then she's gonna meet him in the future in her timeline.
A little impulsive on my...
Well, her fighting's gonna come into play. I'm sure Romulans have at least the same sort of strength that Vulcans have, so much stronger than you would be, La'an, unless you've got some augmented strength. Genetics laboratory. What's the plan here? I'm confused.
And all this was supposed to happen back in 1992, and I've been trapped here for 30 years!
Okay. I was a little confused about the timeline thing. Because I was like, didn't Khan happen in the 90s?
You can live whatever kind of life you want, and you'll never have to hear the name Khan ever again.
Just not in the future she wants, though. It's not a good future to be in. I think I called it, though, with the whole moral dilemma here. Come on, use what Mbenga taught ya. Nice. Get wrecked. Huh. That was weird. Interesting. So this would be 2022 if it's 30 years since 1992.
Maybe Starfleet security wants to weigh in on this.
They're not going to question her outfit.
Say we should let this one slide, Captain.
You're not wearing a uniform. Is something wrong?
There we go.
Nothing's wrong, Captain. I just needed to check on something, and now I have.
You're not going to make a report? I don't think it would hurt to make a formal report about what happened. Another time agent being like, hey, thanks.
The man who gave me this
was one of us.
I will be taking that back now.
I have to insist that you not share any of what you
Okay, never mind. Can't make a report. Well, Pelia's gonna remember, so.
Would you risk undoing all of that?
At least let her get therapy. Gosh. She still has the watch. And the clothes. She probably still has his blood on her clothes.
Oh, God. What did Sam do?
Oh, no, Sam, sorry. Sam's fine, sorry.
That's funny.
I got some real gems for his permanent file.
That sounds lovely.
Kirk out.
well, gosh, getting me a little teary-eyed. It's hard to see other people cry, but I mean, at least she has the opportunity to reconnect with this Kirk. Interesting. I wonder if there are any implications as to like the focus on the watch at the end there. I'm assuming we'll get some interaction between her and Pelia at some point. Overall, I very much enjoyed this episode. I did my best to try not to focus on the canon implications or the timeline implications. Although I was a bit confused about Khan being in 2022 instead of 1992. Does that mean that going forward that is Starfleet history? That it was later on? Like, I don't know. Time travel is so finicky. It's hard to say what works and what doesn't. Like, everything we had seen up to this episode took place in the timeline where it happened in the 90s, but this is a new timeline? I don't know. I don't want this to be a new timeline because I still want it to tie into the original series and future Trek shows. So I mean, it's got to be this. It's got to be a maintained timeline at this point because I mean we're going to be getting Lower Decks, so there's no reason it shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the Lower Decks time travel thing has to do with this. If it, I mean, it's probably time travel. I wouldn't make any sense for it to be like a holodeck thing, especially because it's taking place in Strange New Worlds. It's not taking place in Star Trek Lower Decks. If it were taking place in Star Trek Lower Decks, then yes, it would be like a holodeck thing. It would take place on the Cerritos or a Cerritos adjacent ship. But since it's going to be a Strange New Worlds episode, it only makes sense that it would be something that takes place in this universe, in this timeline, I guess. I don't know. Time travel is so confusing and so frustrating, and maybe we'll never get an explanation. It's totally possible that they won't do that, but that's okay. I think I'm okay with accepting these events. I'm curious as to how it will affect La'an in the future. Like, in some ways, obviously, it's helped her to accept her I want to say her past, but like her ancestry. So I'm hoping in that sense it'll like benefit her, these events to having taken place. But she also has to deal with like the trauma of losing the Kirk that she had sort of fallen in love with, I guess you could say. I guess you could call it a fling. I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think of the word. It's not coming to my head. Anyways, I'm hopeful that they'll reconnect in the future. I mean, there's that scene from the trailer, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, with her seeing him in the transporter room with Una, and Una sensing the tension. Maybe she's going to stay in contact with him over comms, which I wouldn't hate. I don't know. While I was talking about that, I sort of had a mental connection with Picard Season 2 with, like, at the end they teased Adam Soong coming into contact with Project Khan, and that was probably just to set up for where we've seen the Soongs in Star Trek Enterprise with the augments and his connection with that, because I don't know if the Romulan lady was just rounding down by saying 30 years from 1992, but the events of the Picard going back in Season 2 of Picard would have happened after that, right? I think that would have happened in like 2024 or 2023. I don't remember exactly. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. And so I was kind of like, oh, maybe there's like a direct connection here, but I don't think that's the case, since the stuff in Picard was happening after this, and in this Khan is already a child, and it wouldn't make sense for. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confusing myself, but I don't think there's any connection with that besides whatever happened with Khan setting the groundwork for Adam Soong to get that information. I do want to look up that actress because she looks very familiar. Not sure from what. Wait. I'm a little confused. This guy was the time traveler that gave her the thing, right? It says he's a Denobulan? I did not even pick up on that. So that's interesting. I don't hate it. It would be nice to like go back and see his face. Adelaide Kane is the actress. Where have I seen her? Have I seen her in anything? I don't think so. Huh. Interesting. Maybe she just has one of those faces. I don't know. I don't recognize her from anything listed here. Guess not. Well, I mean, I didn't mind her as a character, generally speaking. I really hated her at the end there, like fighting La'an and killing Kirk and whatnot. It's just, I don't know. The actress just had one of those faces. I was just like, she looks so familiar, but nothing, I guess, nothing. But yeah, now I want to look at the Denobulan guy. Okay, let's see if I can get a good look. Is this the guy that I'm thinking of? Oh no, maybe he's the guy at the beginning that was arguing with Chief J? Not the time travel guy. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. I didn't recognize him, but that is... I mean, I would have recognized him if they had done the whole, like, face blowing up thing, but they didn't, so it is what it is. Also, it's nice to see Chief J. I don't know. I mean, it was just a good episode in terms of, like, a one-off episode that we probably won't really hear much about in the future again. I mean, we could get some internal dialogue from La'an. We could get some connection between her and Pelia, talking about, like, their experience meeting each other in the past. But I would say it was a solid one-off episode that, I don't know, I enjoyed seeing what would happen with La'an and Kirk, and I enjoyed a La'an-centric episode that wasn't about the Gorn, and I liked that my prediction was kind of came true here, with her having to deal with the morality of letting Khan live and dealing with that, the repercussions of that in her future. I don't know. It didn't, at the end there, it didn't really seem like it was really a question of whether she was going to let it happen or not. So I just thought it was fun that my prediction came true. And I don't know. I just enjoyed this episode. I'm sure there were some things to complain about that I didn't even notice. Things that were easy to overlook for me, at least. But let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you guys had any issues with this episode. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next episode. I'll probably end up seeing some sort of synopsis for it, or at least something to tip me off as to what's going to happen next. We'll see. And I usually prefer to go into these episodes blind, just so I'm surprised, but we'll see. Let me know if you guys think that there will be any future implications for the events of this episode, if we'll get more of La'an dealing with this Kirk trauma. I'm curious to see what the online consensus for this episode is. So let me know what you guys thought. But I think those are all my thoughts. I think they did a good job with the time travel aspect. It wasn't they didn't go too crazy with butterflies and being a stickler for that and then breaking all those rules. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support that you've given me in this video and in my previous videos, I guess. And hopefully I will see you guys next time.